and welcome to your program, Health Options. Gone are the days when no one seems to have answers to what causes cancer, as we have come to know that over 90 to 95% of the causes of the disease revolve around environmental factors and lifestyle, while genetic factors account for only 5%. New studies have also confirmed that every person alive has some cancer cells inside the body. When it comes to cancer prevention and healing, there are many ways to support the body that may not readily come to mind. Yes, there are options available through holistic or integrative medicine to cancer patients. That's our focus on this episode of Health Options. Thanks for joining us on the program. I am Rabi Abdullah. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Health Options, and we're looking at cancer prevention and treatment from integrative medicine approach. And to take us through the discussion is Dr. John Tor Abide. He's an integrative medicine expert. Dr.
My
John.
pleasure, Ravi. Always good to be here with you.
Just start by, letting us know what cancer is all about and how it forms in the human body to start with.
Cancer doesn't come from the moon, doesn't come from the blues. It's the same, the body cells that have actually deviated and become aberrant. And they say goodbye to their normal brothers, that we've gone our ways. And you have underlying factors that actually predisposes to this setting, that makes the same body cells now say, we cannot live under the same conditions with you. In summary, we say that a cancer cell is a normal cell that became abnormal and would not die a natural cell death. Normally cells, after they live for some time, they die. That is the process medicine calls, or scientists call, apoptosis. That is normal cell death. A cancer cell is a cell also that has evaded that natural cell death, as well as evolved some metabolic mechanisms around it for survival. Because take, for example, the normal way that the body produces energy, in the body cells produce energy, is respiration, what they call aerobic respiration. Yeah. Cancer cells no longer undergo energy production through aerobic respiration. They go via what you know as anaerobic respiration. Okay. A normal cell, through that process of aerobic respiration, will produce 36 ATP molecules. What is ATP? Simply put, that is the energy currency. Okay. Why cancer will take one molecule of carbohydrate or glucose and produce only 2 ATP molecules?
Wow.
You can see that.
Yes.
Cancer cells, once they say bye-bye to their normal, the normal cell, they evolve a different mechanisms of blood supply, known as angiogenesis. That is formation of new blood cells. They have their own pathways, so that you have their own blood that is supplying, nutrients to them. They depend independently. Another hallmark of cancer cells, because the environment has changed of the body. Usually the body pH should be in alkaline range. Yeah. But when the body becomes acidic, that is below 7, a pH of 7, that is acidic environment. Under those conditions, cancer cells cannot cannot survive under oxygen.
How do the cancer cells become harmful? If you and I have cancer cells dormant in us, what triggers the cells to become harmful to us?
A cell that is damaged and has a potential to become cancerous or is cancerous, the immune system will just trap it. We have special immune cells known as the natural killer cells. Their job is that they recognize surveillance. Once they see the wrong cell,
yeah,
they
the
say
soldiers,
that, yes,
soldiers.
The soldiers.
Okay.
Good. The soldiers, they say, no, you don't belong to here. Boom. Then they kill it. But when the immune system fails, the soldiers are disarmed. They no longer have the ability to trap and kill those strange cells. That is the major difference. And that's why we said, like all diseases, we get cancer only and if only when our immune system is compromised. Because what is happening is this. If you look at the bulk size of a tumor, take about 5.5 cubic centimeters of a tumor, what mammography will diagnose at that stage, you have over 1 billion cancer cells that have escaped that surveillance mechanism. They have established their own independence. And once they establish that independence, there is proliferative multiplication of those cells. It takes 10 years for cancer cells to move from what you now, the doctor will not diagnose that you're cancer. It's taken over 10 years. There are various stages. Simply put, that cell that became aberrant, yes, it takes 90 days for it to become 2. It takes 2 years for it to become 10.
And because there become so many that the devices could easily pick them up.
That is it. And talking about that is why now we know that there is a limitation between mammography and thermography. Mammography, by the time it picks cancer cells, we say mammography is a test of anatomy. That is to say that the size of the tumor has to be over 0.5 cubic centimeter.
Before
mammography can pick it. Yes. Oh. Today we have several tests, including thermography, that can detect less than 300 cancer cells. Precisely, thermography will detect cancer cells that in the body that are 254. It is easier for you to do it with 254 than you wait until it comes to over 1 billion.
I was surprised during my research to discover that actually 90 to 95% of the causes of cancer are due to environmental factors and lifestyle, while 5% is just genetic factors.
That's true. So the mutation is caused by what? Mutation is caused by toxins. Unfortunately, when we hear the word toxins, especially in medical parlance, we only think about toxemia. Simply put, when you talk about toxins, there are 2 types of toxins. You talk about the toxins that comes from the environment.
That's what the environmental factors.
Environmental factors.
Okay.
What are the factors? In the last 20 or 30 years, there has been an exacerbated and increased use of pesticides, chemicals, all these things in the environment. There are over 80,000 different environmental chemicals, toxins, that if they enter the body, they go and interfere and perturb with the function of the DNA, rendering it useless in its innate ability to repair the cancer cells or to repair the damaged cell, that it should not become, cancerous. So that is the key. So in summary, yes, the past we know, and even now, when you look at breast cancer, they go into the details of the classifying it based on the genome or genotype. You have the BRCA1 genes or the BRCA2 genes and all those BRCAs. They're telling you about the genes. There is no doubt about that. We know the body has what you call the suppressor genes that actually suppresses those genes that have the tendency of making the cells, cancerous. But if the environment comes in, the environmental toxins comes in, they will render those suppressor genes even useless.
The integrative medicine approach to all of this, which you're an expert, so I'm sure Nigerians will be interested in getting to know some of this in terms of prevention and treatment now for cancer.
Having known that cancer is a complex, nebulous, complicated, multifactorial, multi-system failure of the body cells, we've come to realize that you cannot just hold one single thing and say you are going to treat cancer. It has to be a multifaceted approach.
So are you saying that the radiotherapy, chemotherapy should not just be the available option?
I want to answer that by saying that we've done those conventional approaches 3 years, over 50 years. And if you go to the records, they are also there. I'm not just talking myself. Especially in case, stage 4, less than 2% success have been recorded.
That's when chemo or radiotherapy.
Yes, when you look at those, what we call the South American diet, you're looking at chemo, you're looking at radiotherapy, and then you're looking at, surgery. That's all our focus was. In integrative medicine, because of this multifactorial, complicated nature of cancer, we have an integrative approach, and we have what we call 7 key principles of cancer management. Non-toxic therapy, nutrition with oxygen, okay, it decreases and enhances the microbiome. We talked about microbiome. That is the gut, where our immune system is. Enhances the microbiome, enhances the immunity and the spirituality. Number 1, let's talk about non-toxic therapy. This is in direct contrast with what we knew with the conventionals. Chemo, everybody knows, is actually non-toxic. Chemo actually kills cancer cells. There's no doubt about that. But you have the collateral damage that comes with it. Everybody knows this. But there are therapies today that have come up that are non-toxic. High dose vitamin C is one, because vitamin C selectively kills only cancer cells. So what was saying, if chemo, you're aiming at killing cancer cells, you also have other ways that you can selectively kill cancer cells without causing collateral damage to the immune system. We also have what we call vitamin B17. It's also known as amygdalin. Okay. It also selectively kills cancer cells. You also have other non-toxic therapies, like what you call sonophotodynamic therapy. You making use of light and sound, sonophoto, to selectively kill only cancer cells. When you inject a dye in the body with certain machines, is able to glow the cancer cells, and then the light and sound is able to go and blast the cancer cell and kill it. Among those non-toxic, therapy, which I'm going to use among these 7 principles, is also oxygen. Okay. Cancer cells cannot survive under oxygen environment because they are undergoing what you call anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic means without oxygen. So the moment you introduce oxygen in the body, cancer cells cannot survive. The second one is what? Nutrition. We already know that cancer cells depend mainly on sugar. So when you're managing cancer cells, you make sure that you don't give them high diet, carbohydrates, so that they will have, sugar that they can feed on. That's why they say that cancer cells are obligate metabolizers of, glucose, meaning they depend only on glucose, to function. So you have to, there's what we call the cancer diet, which is mostly plant-based protein that the individuals use. And then, fat. Fat is another source of, energy. So you take that into consideration. Then there is what.
So what sort of fats?
Oh, okay, fats, not the polysaturated, fats. No, avoid those. Yeah.
Example.
Well, the polysaturated, like when you're managing cancer patients, you don't give them things like, it's animal fat.
Okay. So, like in some parts of the country where manshano is popular, it's really not good for cancer patients.
Actually, in management of cancer cells, if you look at the dietary composition, we categorically tell you to avoid dairies.
Okay, dairies.
Yes,
wow.
Avoid dairies.
Milk
and all
cheese,
this,
all of
peas
that.
and cheese and all. Avoid it.
Okay.
You will be on that. But that's another for details.
Okay. So, integrative medicine approach, does it cover all stages of cancer? It doesn't matter what stage?
The truth is this, you cannot make those blank statements like that. An individual's response to treatment depends on so many factors. We are two different individuals who are not the same. Then how is your body responding to the immune system? That is the key. And then what are you really using? Do you know what you are really doing? The next one that you want to do is oxygen. Remember I said cancer cells cannot survive under oxygen environment. So we give oxygen. There are different ways of giving, oxygen. Ozone therapy is one. This is what we call the hyperbaric oxygen chambers. You go into this, chamber, you are flooded and covered with, oxygen. Okay.
Yeah.
Then you have to enhance and work on what we call microbiome. We've come to know that over 80% of the immune system is mediated via our gut. You have to clean the gut, you have to do the right things to the gut so that the gut will, up-regulate its own, the immune system. Okay. Then we talk about detoxification. Detoxification is really key. Honestly, Rabbi, in integrative medicine, all you do, if you are not detoxing the body properly, you've not even started. Because it's the accumulation of those toxins in the body that led to disease, including, cancer. There are various ways of, doing this. You have coffee enema, which is the most popular one that we use. And these things are certified and approved. They've shown not to have any side effect.
Okay.
Spirituality, emotion. You have to clean up yourself. You have to be emotionally, balanced.
No negative energy.
No negative energy. Avoid toxic relationship. There is what we call mental and spiritual, toxins. When you talk about endotoxins, you have mental and spiritual toxins. Things like depression, they're actually, toxin. Anxiety is actually toxin. Stress, they're all toxins. So you avoid all this.
Anger too.
Anger, of course. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, yes. Anger is, a big, toxins. But what does anger actually? Anger leads to, production of a certain hormone known as cortisol, or from, adrenaline, which actually suppresses the immune system.
Even hydrochloric acid, from what I gathered.
Well, it is when you get that, those are some of the expression. Hydrochloric, when you pep up, the peptic cells actually releases hydrochloric acid. Yes.
Which is not good for the body.
No, not at all. So you don't want an acidic environment. The physiological pH of the body where the cells function normally is 7.4. Anything below 7 is considered acidic and encourages proliferation and growth of cancer cells.
Okay, on a final note now, we've said so much about the integrative approach. How affordable? Because on health options, we try to give Nigerians the options to all Westerners. But how affordable? How easily affordable? Because even with the conventional, we know prevention, especially treatment of cancer, even the conventional way, is quite expensive. It's really expensive. So if I have to look the other way now, just how affordable would that be for an individual?
Well,
and what should government do? Because we've been calling on what can government do to support? Just like, a whole lot has been said about, health insurance for people, or, to expand coverage of cancer management, cancer care, under NHIS. Because there are some procedures that are not covered. And people have been calling on government to include those procedures. What would you be saying when it comes to integrative medicine approach?
Rabi, I'm going to tell you one thing. There are 3 stakeholders. I'm going to answer your question, but let me elaborate on this. There are 3 stakeholders to our health.
This is a final question.
The number 1 is God. Number 2 is you. You are responsible. If you don't live the right lifestyle and get disease, it will cost you more to start when you get the disease and you are treating it. So you are responsible. Then others is number 3, which is the medical doctors and this that take care of you. So please, one of the key messages that remember the 3 stakeholders. So remember, God and yourself, you have control. 2 over 3, that is 66%. You pass the exam. You have control. But you don't have control over what the doctor or others do to you. So let's get that very clear. So it's how expensive is integrated medicine. It depends on you. Where are we catching you? Did you come to us with stage 2 or stage 3 or stage 4 of cancer? You are looking for integrative interventions to help you. Or you came to us that, look, I want to keep my body well and prevent myself from coming down with cancer. It is on that note that we have, our services are in 4 categories. You have what we call immune boosting. You can come to integrative medicine, we boost your immunity up. We have what we call disease well-being and disease prevention. We can give you those things.
Which I like
yes.
to do.
And to be honest, as if you know, one of the things I heard with my staff today, we are saying we should be emphasizing on prevention. It doesn't cost us much. But by the time we're asking you to bring 2 or 3 millions, you have a chronic disease, including cancer, the headache we have alone, the things we do, that 2 million is just, nothing. So then, when we have disease management and disease reversal, that means you have failed to keep yourself good lifestyle, and then you have a disease, you are coming to us. That phase is an uphill task. A lot of things, money is involved, time is involved, your compliance is involved, a lot of things you need to do. And then we do other stages like anti-aging, medicine. So in terms of cost, that cost is, determined by you. If you are coming for disease prevention, very simple, 1 or 2 infusions once in a month, we keep you going. We have things like oxygen bar. You used to go there and be joined. We have things like exercise with oxygen therapy. You ride a bike and you are taking oxygen for 15 minutes alone. You have burned enough calories that would have been running around for the whole day. So we have things like that. Radiate ozone therapy. You can come in there for prevention. Just take 1 or 2 infusions a week. You are done. Intravenous infusions.
Wow, it's a whole
a whole lot.
That integrative medicine has to offer.
I must really commend the effort of the government, and we're telling the government that integrative medicine should be actually integrated in the aspect of healthcare. They say that prevention is better than cure.
Thank you so much. I hope Nigerians will appreciate the need for them to really prioritize their health, because it starts from the individual, like you said. Prevention, God, the individual, and government. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Thor, for coming on Health Options. Our package for this week, a quick reminder that you can go to our YouTube channel to watch the upload of these and other episodes of the program. Email us for your comments and contributions at healthoptions@nta.gov.ng. My name is Rabi Abdullah. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again.
Rice value chain, this is where I'm talking about the rice mills. There are 10 rice mills currently under construction. We just received additional intervention to complete them. One, this one you are seeing here is being already tested. This is the one at Pali. And we have in Kano, we have in Niger, I think some of the states are there. We will be finishing those Ekiti, Ogun, Bayelsa, FCT, Adamawa, Jigawa. There are 10 of them across the country.
This message is brought to you from the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Stress is a normal physical